Amy Trask, who was an executive with the Raiders for a while, lived in Oakland for a while. I know Amy Trask. She's always been really nice to me. So I'm going to preface it that way. She's also very rich and powerful, and I'm scared of her. So she went on, I don't know what show she was on, but she had a take. And she said that there are 8 teams left. That's not a take. 8 teams left in the playoffs, and there are 7 excellent quarterbacks and Brock Purdy. And she said, like, look, don't get mad at me. He's good. He's very good, but he's the 8th best quarterback remaining of the 8 in the playoffs. I like a spicy take. It gives us something to talk about. We can rank them. Do you agree with Amy?
No, I don't. It's cool to rank the guys in the playoffs now. I mean, but you have to look at number one. And you know what's interesting about this is that there was a conversation. I think Ryan probably beat her to the punch because me and Ryan had a show on Wednesday about how I would rank the quarterbacks in the playoffs that we have right now. And it was hard to do because that line, that premise that you started with is in the playoffs now. So you can look at regular season performances and try to rank the quarterbacks, but that's just not what this is. This is an entire new iteration of football. This is playoff football. And you can't gauge what a team does until you see what they do, unless they've moved on. So right off rip, the premise is unfair because Brock Purdy hasn't played yet. That's one. 2, we're dealing in a tournament. That's a one-off. So ergo, whoever's still here is going to be better than the quarterbacks that fall off because there's no series involved. It's your performance, what you've done thus far, and moving on. So for her to say that Brock Purdy is the worst quarterback in the playoffs thus far is just her preconceived notions about how she feels about the quarterbacks that are already there and what they've done throughout the season. And then, quite frankly, if you want to look at the season, Brock Purdy is at least top 4 for season performances in the quarterbacks that are there.
What they did in the season, it's just who they are. Let's rank them starting at the worst. Is it Brock Purdy? I don't think it is. I would put the worst quarterback as Goff.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Goff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 8 is Goff. We agree on that. 7 to me is Baker.
Okay.
I'd take Baker over Goff. He's just a little bit more mobile.
Okay.
They both have a really good arm.
Okay.
Are you with me on that?
I'm with you. Goff, Baker. I'd go there.
All right. So Goff, Baker. You could make an argument that Purdy should be here, but I think you got to look at Purdy versus Love.
Love
I'm
right here with you.
Like Love is bigger and he has a stronger arm and he may have higher upside, but he's literally been good for like 2 months.
He just got here.
He was bad midseason. Packers fans and analysts thought they were going to have to bench him and draft another quarterback. He's been good for 10 games. I don't think it's fair to rank him ahead of Brock Purdy just because of a perceived upside. He has been great for 10 games, and he could establish himself as better than Brock Purdy on Saturday. But right now, I can't put Love ahead of Purdy.
Brock's been good since Brock has been. All right, so let's look at it this way. If you want to, because this is what she's doing. If you really want to look at it from the totality of what the quarterbacks have done, there's no way that you can put Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, or Jordan Love over what Brock Purdy has done since he's been at quarterback in the NFL. You just can't.
Yeah.
The only way that you can make an argument for CJ Stroud being over Brock Purdy is him being a rookie and showing the relative success right away, and the team that he's doing it with is far less talented than Brock Purdy's.
I'm inclined to put Stroud ahead of Purdy, although it's an argument. It's definitely an argument. But I'm inclined to say Purdy 5, Stroud 4.
Yep.
Lamar 3.
You can just argue with the 3.
Mahomes 1, something like that.
Whatever. With the 3, you can just argue.
4, and Lamar is 3, and Stroud beats Lamar this weekend. I mean, all these rankings could get jumbled up in a matter of days, which is why it's fun to do it before the games. But I think we agree on that. We put Brock at 5 with the potential of him to 4.
Yeah, I agree with that right there because, there's the 3 solidified guys who all are doing what they need to do. Although if we want to play devil's advocate, I know there's somebody listening to this right now, and I got you. Lamar Jackson doesn't necessarily have a playoff record that could be lauded right now.
No,
and he hasn't played yet.
He has something to prove as well, and he's got to go
exactly. If we're just keeping it a buck, right?
Yeah.
If we're going to keep it fair, Lamar Jackson is right now the runaway MVP, and he's done phenomenal, right? But if we're talking about in a vacuum, this season compiled with what you expect and haven't seen or have seen in the playoffs, Lamar Jackson has questions as well.
Right. And if he loses, if he's the 1 seed and they have, just
and
the
they
Niners,
lose to CJ Stroud,
like all of a sudden
it's going to fall right back. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not going to be the number 3 quarter. He's going to be seen as, his stock will be way down. And Brock could rally. Brock has a relatively thin resume as well. He hasn't played 2 full seasons yet, but this is his second trip through the playoffs. And if he goes deep, then he'll be up there. So I thought, look, Amy, thank you for starting the conversation. And I think I'm guessing why she said it. She was with the Raiders in the Bay. She wasn't an LA Raider. She was an Oakland Raider. And I bet she enjoyed saying that. So
I mean, she said it in a way where she was waiting for the bombast. Like she said it with like kind of like a tongue-in-cheek smirk, like I'm ready for the backlash.
I want the smoke. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Our Mob Nation says, why do you promote gambling when your audience is primarily kids?
Who said his audience is primarily kids? We got the analytics on that. They ain't primarily kids in this audience.
I don't think so. Sorry, Our Mob Nation. Black Pill Phil says if the Niners play their brand of football, the Niners win comfortably. The Cowboys defense played like their DC already booked a ticket to Seattle. That's a good point, man. A lot of times these coordinators that are in demand and are doing all these interviews just lay eggs in the playoffs because you can't possibly put all that time on task in 2 different things. So maybe that's why Dan Quinn stunk. Steve Wilkes
I mean, I agree with this comment wholeheartedly. We're going to get into the game, but that's exactly how I see this game.